In this video, we will show you how to replace your coolant reservoir assembly. Let's get started. Okay friends, let's get started on our job. We're going to come right over here to the top of the reservoir. Make sure that it's cool to the touch. You didn't just come back from a nice road test somewhere. Assuming it's cool to the touch, we're going to carefully open it. Keep in mind, it could be under pressure. As you lift it up, lift it away from your face. We'll give this a quick inspection and set that aside. Inside of this, there should be some coolant. You're going to want to try to remove as much of it as possible. That'll be easiest using some sort of suction device. Once you have as much coolant out of this as possible, we're going to continue on to this hose right here. To remove this hose, we'll use some pliers, carefully squeeze it, slide it down the hose. Once you've done that, you're going to want to break the hose free from the assembly. Give it a little wiggle and slide it right off. After it's off of there, give it a nice squeeze. Make sure it's still soft and pliable and it's not torn, worn, or damaged in any way. Assuming that looks good, set it aside. Now that we have that top hose out of the way, we're going to start removing our three 8mm headed mounting bolts. You'll find that you have one down in this area, pretty close to the fan shroud, up along the top, and then inside this area, behind your passenger side headlamp. Let's start with the one that's inside the engine compartment. There's our first mounting bolt. To remove these, I'll start with the lowest one, which is hardest to get to. Once that's out of there, we'll do the top one as well. There's that one. Give it a quick inspection and set it aside. Let's move along. This one's easier to access. With both of those bolts out of there, let's grab onto this and carefully lift it up. At this point, I have it up as high as it's going to go. I'm going to remove this lower hose. Keep in mind, there could still be coolant in this area. It's a good idea to have a collection bucket under here. To help break this free, I'll use a hose pick. With that out of the way, we'll just double check this last hose, make sure it's soft and pliable as well. And now we can get ready for our installation. We have to remove the two clips that are located on the original reservoir and swap them over to the new reservoir. We'll start with this one right here. If you use your pick or screwdriver, just carefully get inside the hole, grab onto that locking tab, and slide it out of position. Now the next thing we have to do is readjust the locking clip. To do that, I'll come right in between here and gently pry this. Just press that down in there. Continue on, do the same to your other clip. Just fix that lock the same way. Now we can start preparing our brand new reservoir. Let's take those two clips that we removed from the original and slide them into the same position as where we had removed them. Now we can get this in the vehicle. Let's take that lower hose and put it in position. Has to go down underneath this AC line. Let's get that hose lined up and press it in. Once you have it pressed in as far as you can up against the reservoir, continue on by putting on your locking clamp. Slide this clamp into position. Once you're sure that hose is secure, go ahead and slide it down into position and start in both of your 8mm headed mounting bolts. After both of those are started, you can go ahead and snug them up. Let's get this one in there as well. Let's get this last hose attached. Remove your cover, prepare to fill the cooling system. Now it's going to be time to fill up the coolant reservoir. Now we didn't drain a whole bunch of coolant, so we shouldn't have to worry about evacuating any air bubbles in the system. When you fill this, I'll show you on the original, it does have a little marking here that tells you where the minimum is and where the maximum is. So when you fill this up, you want to make sure in between these two areas. You don't want to be all the way up here or even worse, completely full. Since we're not burping any air out of the system, we can add directly to this. Now when you fill this, you want to make sure that you use manufacturer specified fluid, and if it's a concentrate, make sure it's diluted 50-50 with distilled water. Once you're sure it's up to the maximum line, continue on with your cover. Make sure that's nice and tight, listen for a click. After that, go ahead and start up the vehicle. Let it run for a little while. Make sure you don't have any coolant leaks anywhere. Aside from that, thanks for watching.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.